Hello, friends and neighbors. Welcome to our Tuesday lunch chat. I am Sarah Keller, the owner of Not Another Hat, and I am coming to you live from inside the store. And as always, I'm full of lots of fun and exciting things to talk about today. So welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm doing this in the up and down mode because I have this beautiful wall of yarn behind me and I want you to be able to see all of it. So we'll talk about that in just a second. I'm gonna just blither on a little bit while I let people hop on the video and find us. I hope you all had a lovely week since we last spoke. I did some impulsive things and I'm going to tell you all about those too, but it made my week very lovely, especially my weekend. We had a full volleyball weekend this last weekend and lots of watching and traveling and whatnot. And so I did a lot of knitting. That's what that equals, a lot of knitting. And I get the weirdest looks knitting on the sidelines in the volleyball courts. And a lot of people who want to know what I'm crocheting and just general weirdness. But it's fun. It's fun to be the weird one in the room. I mean, it's like this whole giant complex full of volleyball courts and volleyball kids and volleyball parents and coaches, and everybody looks really athletic. And here I am sitting there knitting. It's just, it's my life, actually. That's a really good metaphor for my life. It's a metaphor for the town I live in, where everybody's super athletic, and I'm sitting here knitting. So, anywho, hello. Funny, Julia. Yes, impulsive. Julia's in the room, so if you see me acting weird and looking to my right, that's because she's over there. Yeah, so should we start off with the yarn behind me and the yarn I'm wearing? First, I'll step out of the way so you can fully take in this gorgeousness. How beautiful is this wall? This is Dream in Color Riley. It is a single-ply merino, and it is the softest, butteriest, most luscious, squishy thing you've ever seen. It's got 220 yards. It's a really classic 4.5 stitch to the inch. It's worsted, right in the worsted range, and it just comes in these gorgeous colors that Dream in Color is so good at doing. And Ariana arranged them so beautifully on the wall here. And to top it off, Dream in Color is always so awesome. They sent me this beautiful shawl as a sample in Riley. So this is the Courage shawl, and it takes 3 skeins. Actually, I didn't verify that. Is that true, Julia? Let me check. 3 colors. But it's gorgeous. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? And if you felt it, you would be even more in love because A, it's got this nice bouncy drape, and then also B, it's so super soft. Next to the skin soft this yarn is. And this is a superwash wool, but because it's a single ply yarn, it's not the greatest idea to put it through the machine because single plies just in general, doesn't matter. They are more prone to abrasion. So you want to take care with them. It's much better if it's hand washed and dried flat. It's not going to shrink or felt, basically, if it accidentally went in the machine. It's just going to pill faster. So, yes. Yeah, it's at, yeah?
Yeah,
one skein each.
No.
Nope.
1 skein of color A, 2 skeins each of the other 2 colors, so then you get to make a matching hat with the rest.
Ooh, I don't know if you could hear that from where you are, but here's the lowdown. It takes 1 skein of one color and then 2 skeins each of the other 2 colors, so that's 5 skeins total, but there is a matching hat pattern that you can use.
No, I'm just saying they're going to have enough to make a hat.
You're going to have enough to make a hat? Okay, just a little bit of misunderstanding on my part here. You'll have enough to make a gorgeous hat with the leftovers. And in fact, you'll be so accomplished at the pattern by the time you're done, you'll probably be able to make your own hat to match. How about that? So again, that's the Courage shawl. I think Julia shared the links. And this is Dream in Color Riley, R-I-L-E-Y, in all these beautiful, gorgeous colors. So next, Do you remember last week when I was showing you the new colors of the Tosh planned pooling yarns and I started to get this faraway look in my eyes and I said, ooh, I have an idea. I casted it on. Actually, Jill enabled me. I kind of had pulled my yarn. I was, thinking about it. And she says, want me to wind it up? I said, well, I don't know. And then she looked at me directly in the eyes and she says, want me to wind it up? And I was like, okay, wind it then. So she did. Here's the colors that I picked. I was inspired by this new one, Flora on Sand, that we had just received. And I matched it up with Real Friends Don't Lie. So these are both on the Merino light base. And I knew I wanted a deep, dark contrast color to really give a good shadow because the pattern I cast on is Brioche. And it's so addicting. I first found out about this, if you remember from last week, from Jocelyn, club member. She started it. She had it here with her on our gumball sale day and showed it to me. And I couldn't stop. Here is Audacious in all her glory. Let me get up nice and close so you can see what's happening here. So this is a brioche pattern where you work a bobble when you come to your pooling yarn color. So in my case, it's this coral. So every time I come to the coral, I work this special little bobble. So this is a pattern by Leslie Ann Robinson of Knit Graffiti, the Brioche Queen. And it's just a nice triangular shawl. And it's really mindless. If you love brioche, you'll pick this up in a snap. It is really plain. It's got one increase at the end of the right side rows. And so all you have to do is just kind of like brioche along and then bobble every now and again. So here's the back. The bobbles don't really show on the back. You see like a little bit of a kind of a stretch where they're made, but they're not like they are on the front where they're super textured and 3D. Isn't this fun? Okay, not everyone may think this is as fun as I do, but I am thoroughly entertained. And I've gotten what I feel like is a long way since last Thursday. That's when I started this. But I'm not even halfway through my skeins yet. So while I might feel like I've gone a long ways, I've got a ways yet to go. So there's two sizes to this. I'm actually doing the small, which just requires one of each skein. But you can make it nice and big and do two of each skein and just have a really cozy, comfy thing that you can wrap up in. So if you wanted, you could make it even, not that you can tell how big it's going to be, but I'm not even half. I'm maybe almost halfway through my two skeins here. So yes. Get brioche from people. Okay, that was that. Next, we just released a new mini course in our virtual classroom. So it is the Happy Hour 2 project bundle, and it's based on the Happy Hour Club we had a long time ago. But it was pre-COVID. It was before we had like a Facebook presence or any, like our online presence was not as big at all. So it was like predominantly for people here in the store. We had maybe a few customers that we shipped these project clubs to. So what I've done is I've compiled the 4 patterns that were released in our second happy hour and their 4 drink recipes that went with each one. Now these are amazing cocktail recipes, tried and tested by yours truly. But they can also be made as mocktails, so you don't need to put the alcohol in if you don't want to, and they will still taste delicious. So you've got 4 patterns, you've got 4 drink recipes, and then there's a video technique demo to go with each one, and it's all in our virtual classroom. It's $19.99, so already, like just for 4 patterns, that would be $28. So it's already a deal at $19.99, and then you get the drink recipes and the technique videos, and you get lifetime access. So I'm going to just run through really quick what those 4 patterns are. The first one is my shawl pattern called I'm a Classy Drunk. So that is a fingering weight shawl. It's a triangle, a slightly asymmetrical triangle with a little sawtooth border on it. And we actually don't have a sample in the store right now because we've sold them all. We used to have 2. I mean, we've had 2 over the the years. And as the yarns they were knit in were let go, we ended up selling off the sample. So I had forgotten that. And I was going to show you a sample this morning. So clearly we need to make another sample, but it's really, really beautiful. You can go and look at the pictures, both on Ravelry and on our Happy Hour Project 2 product or blog post, because there's both of those things. So that's the first one. And they're all accessories. The second is the Seeing Double mittens, which are really fun and cozy. This is a 2-layer mitten, and the inner layer is worsted weight. I'm gonna step out of the way so you can see the mitten. Ooh, hi, I'm a mitten. So this is worsted weight on the inside, and then you knit a sport weight outer layer that's strictly decorative, but it does make them extra warm and extra cozy. So it's cool and fun, and it starts on the inside and comes down, and then you turn and you change yarns and you come back up with the outer mitten, plop the thumb through and stitch it down. So it's really, really fun, really cool, really practically cozy mittens, like really good actually warm mittens. That is number 2. Number 3 is the Where Are My Shoes? Slippers. These are a toe up heel flap, which is a little bit of an unusual toe up construction. Lots of times you see the short row heel with toe up. So it's actually got a heel flap. Toe up, slip stitch all over, so they're extremely squishy. They're almost like a brioche fabric, but they're not. You don't have to know how to brioche. It's just slipping with a little cuff. And they're made in a super bulky yarn so that you can just pull them on and wear them around your house all winter long when you need some warm slippers. Or if you live in a place where like it's not cold in the winter, but everything is tile floors and you take your shoes off when you go in the house, then these would be handy as well because tile's cold. So this is the Where Are My Shoes? And then last but not least is the Straight to My Head hat. And this is a really fun color work hat, and it's written for fingering weight yarn. And when I designed it, I used a set of Manos de Uruguay Fino minis. And that brings me to another sneak peek of our LYS Day specials. So for LYS Day, we have a exclusive colorway of the Manos Fino minis. It's a mouthful. Here it is. This is our special Not Another Hat colorway. Just so you can all see it real close. We've got like a gray, a dark purple, a silver, a cream, and a light pink. Very Not Another Hat. And it's perfect for this hat pattern because this is a hat where you don't have any particularly dominant color throughout the colorwork pattern. So you can mix them up as you like. I do give you a rundown of colors 1 through 5 if you want to just follow it exactly as I made it. But it works really well if you want to mix them up. You can also use stash, etc. I used a contrast color on the turned brim of my hat because I just thought that would be fun. So yeah, this is a great reason to get the Happy Hour Project Club 2 bundle because you'll get this hat pattern, and on Saturday, LYS Day on the 29th, you will be able to get our exclusive color set of the Fino bundles. The other thing that's in the Happy Hour Project Club 2 is multiple yarn recommendations for every pattern. So I give you lots of yarn choices for all 4 of the patterns. Woo! That was a lot of information. So yes, don't forget, mark your calendars, set your alarms. LYS Day is coming up at the end of the month. We have so many special things. And next week on our Tuesday lunch chat, I'm going to give you the full rundown of all the specials we are going to be offering on LYS Day. I'll show you all the samples. I'll show you the yarns themselves or the goodies themselves. Yes, there's going to be goodies. And don't forget that the first 40 orders get a commemorative LYS Day enamel pin, and that's in store and online. So be sure that you don't lose track of that. Don't worry, we'll send you lots of email reminders about it. All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in, and be sure you tune in next week to see the rundown of all of our LYS Day specials. I'll see you next Tuesday. Toodaloo.